or
This
background.
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So after getting the introduction from each and every participant, what I believe that everyone are new to SAP. Yeah. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to uh, mold this demo so that things can reach maximum as possible among you. Yeah, and feel free to raise any questions if anything you are unable to understand, or if you have any kind of queries. Yeah. Right. So before I take you through the demo, so let me introduce myself as well. So I'm Pawan Kumar. Yeah, I'm having approximately 7+ years of experience into this SAP MM consulting field. SAP MM is my key competencies, and I'm a certified SAP MM consultant. Yeah, and I'm having the exposure of working in SAP MM both on ECC and S4 HANA platforms, both implementation and conversion projects. Yeah, right. So I hope everyone able to see my screen. Yeah, so let us start. So though everyone are new to SAP, so I will start right from zero knowledge. Yeah. First of all, what is SAP? What is SAP? Just a minute, let me enlarge it. Yeah. SAP is a ERP tool, and the full form of SAP is System Application and Products in Data Processing. Okay. And in the market, most of the people will call this SAP as a SAP. Somebody will call it as SAP. Yeah, you will hear some different pronunciations. So what is the correct way of pronouncing it? The correct way of pronouncing it is SAP. Please don't call it as SAP. Yeah, this is one kind of disclaimer kind of thing I'm giving. Yeah. So the full form is System Application and Product in Data Processing, and this SAP is an ERP tool. Now, why I am calling this SAP is an ERP tool? Anyone heard about the name ERP earlier? Because this is a very commonly used word in the market. Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a enterprise resources planning, sir.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. So, what is the meaning of this enterprise resource planning? What is the meaning of this enterprise resource planning? So the entire concept lies in the full form only. If you read very carefully, enterprise resource planning, please read from the right. Planning the resources of an enterprise. Planning the resources of an enterprise. Enterprise means it is an organization. What you are doing there through ERP, you are going to plan how the resources of an enterprise will going to be utilized. Now, the question is, what is the need of planning the usage of resources? Yeah. What is the need of planning the resources? What will going to happen if I don't plan it? How it will going to be utilized? No organization, if they are not planning how their resources will going to be utilized, they cannot maximize the output from them. True. For example, most of you guys are working, were having some previous experience and all those things. Yeah, so that means you were associated with some enterprise. So in which category of resource you were falling into in your organization? You were falling into the category of human resources. Yes. If your organization do not know how to make and how to plan, okay, how to plan the usage of employee, then your organization cannot maximize the output, okay, by utilizing your efforts. Everyone agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Similarly, not only not only the resources are available in the form of human. When I talk about the planning of resources of an enterprise, the resources I basically categorized into 5M. Okay, resources I basically categorize into 5M. 5M stands for, see, these are the list of the 5M: men, Materials means your goods and services. Men means your human resources. Machines means your assets of the company. Method means processes. And money means all kind of your financial resources. Yeah. Every organization should show their utmost focus on how they are going to plan these resources. If they are not going to plan this, organization cannot make any kind of outputs, or they cannot maximize their outputs. For example, let's take an example of money. How can an organization be successful, okay, if from the financial aspects? So how should I plan my financial resources of an organization? The simplest funda is I should reduce my expenses, or I should optimize my expenses, and I should generate my revenues. Yes, then only anyone can be successful, or anyone can make profits, right? Agree or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
How this is
Yeah.
possible? That is possible by applying the concepts of ERP, enterprise resource planning. So ERP takes care of all these things. ERP is a business concept, okay, for planning the resources, and we will use certain software tools, okay, for any organization. For applying this ERP concept for that organization, we use certain ERP tools in the form of software. So that ERP tool is nothing but one of a kind of ERP tool is SAP. That's why I called SAP as an ERP tool. Yeah. This is some guys, everyone can please go on mute. I'm hearing some background noise. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So I hope this slide is clear to everyone. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Now let us move ahead. So before I take you to the basics of SAP MM, or I should give you a high level overview of SAP MM, there are some more things what you should know. First of all, whenever any participant want to learn SAP, okay, so in SAP basically we call it as a modules. SAP modules we are going to learn. In the market you will hear about this. What SAP module you are learning? If to any of your colleagues, if you are telling that okay, I'm learning or I'm getting trained in SAP, so they will ask you in which module you are getting trained. So when I talk about SAP module, so we basically categorize this SAP module into two categories. One is called as functional module, and second one is technical module. Okay, functional module and technical module. What is the meaning of this functional module and technical module? First of all, we will touch the technical module. I'll just give you a high level overview about that. Okay, so technical module, as the name suggests, technical. Yeah, so SAP is a ERP tool. That means it is a kind of software in a layman language if we talk. So if it is a software, if it is a kind of software, then obviously it will be having some its backend programming and all those things. Yes, every software has that thing, right? It will have some backend logic and all those things. So all the backend logic related things of SAP is taken care under one of the technical module in SAP, that is called as SAP ABAP. This is one of a kind of technical module which takes care of the entire programming related activity. Okay, this is only for your information, right? I am telling. Second thing, now though this is an ERP software, so every organization will going to use this. So from here we can control who will going to use which kind of, or who is going to have which kind of access and all those things. So whenever we talk about SAP administration related activity, IT administration related activity, so there is one more module called as SAP basis module, which takes care of the entire administration part, IT administration part of SAP. Yeah. Now we also have to secure our data. Okay, if we are working on any ERP, that means we will, any organization will have its own set of data. Without data, no organization can perform. Yes or no? Data is very crucial thing for any organization. Yeah. So how they can secure their data and all of the IT security related services. For that, you have one more thing called as, you will hear something called as SAP GRC. Yeah, these are some of the examples of technical module what you will hear in the market. Now come to functional module. What is the meaning of functional module? Functional module, functional, what functional? Functions of a business. Okay, it deals with it. The functional module takes care in streamlining the various business functions of an enterprise. So though you guys are having some prior experience, so in an organization, what are the various business functions you are familiar with? Can anyone tell me?
Yeah, it's production, quality, sales, distribution, financial controlling,
Very good,
material,
very good.
material,
Yes,
material management,
very good.
warehouse management, like this.
Yeah, these are the various business functions. So functional module takes care in streamlining the business processes of each and every functional area of a business. For example, sales, yeah, finance and controlling. Then you have materials department, warehousing department, right? Transport department is there. So these are some of the examples. One more thing, plant maintenance. Yeah, these are some of the examples of functional module. So SAP has provided one functional module for each and every function of a business. For sales, it has provided one functional module. You will hear it as SAP SD here. Okay, for SD means sales and distribution. For finance and controlling, you will hear something called SAP FICO, finance and controlling. Now for materials department, you will hear something called as SAP materials management, what we are here to discuss today. Similarly, for warehousing, transportation management and all those things, you will have one dedicated functional module. Yeah. So out of these, we are going to focus, or we are going to get a high level overview on what this materials management department of an organization functions. What are the activities it will going to perform? Yeah, first of all, this is very important to understand the roles and responsibilities of SAP materials management department. It is very important to understand the process flow of that. Once it is understood, then half of your work is done in learning SAP MM. So that we are going to deal with today, right? So again, I am going to my presentation. Now we will start with what is materials management. So as I said, materials management is a functional module. Okay, it is a functional module. It is basically taking care in streamlining the processes of materials management department of an organization. So what are the functions of materials management, or what are the activities a materials management department will going to perform? See here, I had divided the activities into three parts: purchasing, inventory management, and invoice verification. That means accounts payable part. Okay, every materials management process will start from purchasing, followed by inventory management, that means your stores related activity, and then your accounts payable, that is invoice verification part. Okay, Now, let us try to explore each and everything. And please remember one more thing, these three things, this purchasing, inventory management, and logistics invoice verification, are called as pillars of SAP materials management. Pillars means those are the foundations. If any one of the thing is missing, the end-to-end materials management process cannot be performed. Right? Now, let us try to understand the meaning of purchasing. Anyone can tell me, this purchasing is a very commonly used word. So can anyone tell me what do you mean by purchasing? In a very layman language, I want to understand. Purchasing. Anyone?
It's a procure to pay.
Yeah, procure to pay, or procure to pay is actually not purchasing. Procurement is purchasing. Or one more answer I heard, that is buy. Yeah, buy,
Yes, sir.
to buy. Purchasing means to buy. What you are going to buy? We are going to buy basically two things for our household needs, or for any of our needs, even for your company also. You will going to buy only two things. What are those two things? Number one, it is goods, and second one is services. Is there any other thing what you can buy other than these goods and services?
No.
No. Whatever things what you can physically touch, that comes under the category of goods, and whatever things which you cannot physically touch, yeah, only you can
Take this,
okay,
take the
you
services
can,
from third party.
yeah, but services means you can only enjoy that thing, you cannot physically touch that thing, right? That is service. So we basically buy two things, goods and services. Yeah, that is purchasing. Now, another one of the most important question in purchasing, what you have to know, that is when you will do the purchasing. Yeah,
When something is required.
very good, very good. Whenever we have the requirement, then only we will go and do the purchasing. Why? Because purchasing is very crucial task, right? Why it is a crucial task for anybody? Because it generates expense, not revenue. It generates expense. For any organization, or even for our personal use also, we try to optimize our expenses. Yeah, that's why we are going to buy whenever there is a need. Unnecessarily nobody will going to buy and store it. Now, so we understood when we will do the purchasing. The answer is whenever we have the requirement. Now, whenever you have the requirement, so basically we perform two types of activities for any organization or for our personal needs also. Knowingly or unknowingly, we will perform that thing. What is that activity? First of all, we will start with purchase planning, followed by, this is purchase planning, followed by purchase execution. For purchase planning means planning what you want to purchase, then execute whatever you had planned, execute by placing an order into the market, right? Now, purchase planning, what you will do in purchase planning? In purchase planning, any organization or for our personal needs also, even if you are using the SAP ERP tool, or if you are using any other ERP tool, or if we are not using any ERP tool also, okay, in purchase planning, we will determine the answers to these four questions. What to buy, how much to buy, when to buy, and from where to buy. What to buy means you should be very much specific that what kind of goods or what kind of service you want to buy. Once you determine that, then you should know how much quantity, in how much quantity you should buy, because it is not that if you need something you go to the market and buy some indefinite quantity or infinite quantity. That is not a wise decision. Yeah, so whatever you need, okay, in the desired quantity, only that you should know and you should buy it. That is how much to buy. Now, Once we determine what to buy and how much to buy, then the third thing is, see, whatever we need in the desired quantity, that should be available at right place and at right time. Yeah, that should be available at right place and at right time. Why it is important? So that our requirement will going to get fulfilled. Agree or not? So that's why the third thing is when we should do the purchasing. Yeah, when to buy, when we should place the order. And the fourth one, the last thing, that is from where to buy. From where to buy means, if you decided what goods and service you want to buy in the desired quantity, for supplying those goods and services, okay, in the market, you have n number of vendors. Yeah, from which vendor you will go and buy? How you going to decide that? There are certain commonly used factors, right? What we deploy in our day-to-day purchasing also. What are the factors?
Quotation we have to require for each vendor, sir.
Yeah, quotation you will take from each and every vendor. Yeah, quotation. What you will do with quotation? Okay, vendor gave you quotation. Then
Cost comparisons.
very good. Cost comparison. Another good, very good answer. Yeah, cost comparison. First one is quotation. Second one is cost comparison. Any other thing? We will see what is the quality of goods, what he is delivering, time. Yeah, time, how fast he can deliver. There are several factors which will help, which a business will consider in selection of the vendor. Now assume there are, let's say, 5 vendors which are available. So business finalized. Okay, I want to buy from this XYZ vendor. So they had completed their planning part once they determine the answers to these 4 questions. Now merely doing planning will fulfill the business requirement or your requirement? No, it will not going to fulfill. For example, if you had planned that you want to secure a first class in any competitive exam or in any of your university exams, yes, that is your planning. But merely doing planning will help you in getting the marks? No, you have to execute that. How you are going to execute it? By writing the exam. Yeah, similarly here also, once you planned these things, the buyer, there will be one person called as buyer who will carry out the purchase execution. Purchase execution means executing whatever you had planned, okay, by placing a order. By placing an order. Order means you are placing one legal document, or you are communicating one legal document with your requirements and at the agreed prices and all those things to the vendor to whom you had finalized. For example, you want to buy a mobile phone. So you were doing some planning. Okay, I should buy this mobile from which website I should buy, Flipkart or Amazon. Okay, so many things you did. That is, you are doing purchase planning. How you are then how your mobile phone will going to be available? By placing the order in the Flipkart, whatever in Flipkart or Amazon, whatever order you are placing, that is your actually purchase order. Or purchase order means order you are placing for purchasing some goods or services. That is a terminology what we are going to use in SAP. Purchase order it is called. That comes under your purchase execution. Means there also you are knowingly or unknowingly was doing the purchase execution. Once you do the purchase execution, then only that order will be communicated and your requirements will be communicated to the vendor. And once the requirement is communicated to vendor will receive your requirement and he will start processing your order. See, once you place an order in the Flipkart, you start receiving some SMS, right, in your mobile, in your registered mobile number. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What is that information you are getting? There is one technical name for that we use for any in any organization. So regarding to such kind of notifications.
Some
We
like out for delivery or something.
yes. What kind of what is that common one word we call all this notification into we use one word for that. That is called as, please remember that thing, that is called as advanced shipping notification. Okay, what is that? Advanced shipping notification. That advanced shipping notification means that is the information what you are receiving from the vendor against your order, right? That means where it in that you will contain you will have the information that when and when your order will going to be received at your place of delivery. That is called as advanced shipping notification, what you are receiving from Flipkart, Amazon, whatever it is. Now once you receive the advanced shipping notification, next comes your another pillar of SAP MM. That means from an organization point of view, stores department will come into picture. Why? Because they have to receive the goods. Yeah, they have to receive the goods. So whenever I talk about the movement of goods, that means receipts, consumptions, whatever it is, so that comes under the category of inventory management. Okay, that comes under the category of inventory management. So what is an inventory management and what it takes care of? Inventory management is basically designed to take care of stores department activities. Anyone heard about this department named stores department?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is the roles and responsibilities of that stores department? Any idea?
To keep the material, all the inward material to the proper location, and means that is the GR process, and the
Yes.
someone want that material, they issue the material, that is the GI
Yes.
process.
Very good. Very good. To manage all kinds of materials, okay, to manage the inventory of all the materials whatever you are receiving against your order, and whatever materials you are consuming, maybe for sales or maybe for doing the production activities, whatever it is, it deals with the managing the inventory. See, in the name only it is there, inventory management, managing the inventory. What do you mean by inventory? Inventory means the physical stock what you are currently holding with you for any goods. And please remember one more thing, in whenever I talk about inventory management, out of goods and services, I'm talking only about goods, because we can store only goods, services cannot be stored. Yes or no? So inventory management takes care of goods only. So what it takes care? It takes care of all kinds of goods movement whenever you're receiving it or whenever you're consuming it. So I categorize the goods movement into two categories: physical goods movement and logical goods movement. Now what is physical goods movement? Let me explain. Let us say this is one product. These are three products what you had ordered from the vendor. In the earlier slide from the purchasing, you had ordered these three products to the from a vendor. Vendor delivered you this product, so you received these three products. This means you're receiving this. That means inward movement is happening. This is a kind of physical movement. That means position of this product is changing, right? From here it was there, from here to here, position changing, right? Physical goods movement means whenever the position of the goods will going to change, that will be considered as physical goods movement. This is inward movement. Let us say there are some this red cylinders which are there. These are meant for sales. That means outward movement. You are selling it to customer. This is outward movement. Third one is internal movement. Another kind of physical movement it is. Let's say this product is lying here. From here to here you want to move. This is your another kind of physical movement that is called as internal movement. Okay. Next one is logical goods movement. What is the meaning of this logical goods movement? Let me explain you. In your home, you had observed this logical goods movement phenomena, but you will come to know now. Okay, this is the meaning of logical goods movement. Yeah, I will explain. Let me draw some figure here. Let's say this is one vessel and this is another vessel. Okay, I'll change the color of this. This blue color vessel, I am naming in this blue color vessel, sorry. In this blue color vessel, you are storing milk. In this blue color vessel, you are storing milk, and in this you are storing. Over the night, what happened? Let's say in this vessel where you had stored milk, yeah. So this milk is, let's say, the quantity of milk is 2 kg, and the quantity of curd what was stored in this vessel is 1 kg. Now, over the night, what has happened? Over the night, what has happened? You didn't store this milk properly, so in the morning when you wake up and saw, this milk got converted into curd. Is there any physical good movement happening? No, but one material attained the attribute of another material. That means when the milk is getting converted into curd, when this 2 kg of milk is getting converted into curd, then what will be the quantity of milk now?
It's a 0.
It will be 0. Yes,
Yes.
that means entire of your milk got converted into curd. Okay, so what will be the quantity of curd now? That will be 3 kg in total.
Yes.
Yes, so here a kind of goods movement is happening. Yeah, a kind of goods movement is happening, but position of the goods is not getting changed. Is the milk change the position? It didn't change. Here only it was staying. The attribute of the product got changed. That is logical movement. From the definition point of view, one-liner definition of logical goods movement, it is that goods movement where the position of goods will not going to change. Is this clear?
Yes.
Right.
Can you please repeat this?
Yeah. First of all, logical goods movement means position of the goods will not going to change. Yes. Earlier, this, just a minute, I will see. This was blue product. Blue product. The name of this blue product was milk. The quantity of milk earlier was 2 kg. Quantity of milk was earlier 2 kg. Quantity of milk initially was 1 kg. Over the night, this milk got converted into curd. When the milk is changing its property, that means milk is one material, curd is another material. Yes, when the milk is changing the property and it is attaining the attribute of curd, that means, is the position of this milk is changing?
No.
No, but without changing the position, the quantity of curd is increasing. Why? Because milk changed the attribute.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, now I get it. Yes. Yes.
yeah, got it.
Mhm.
So this is the thing happening. This is a logical goods movement, right? Next, what other thing inventory management you can control from the inventory management? You can plan how the goods will going to be utilized. For example, again, let me draw one figure. That is inventory planning. how you are going to plan your inventory, because inventory planning is very important thing. If you don't plan how your inventory will going to be utilized, you will frequently face the stock out situation. Okay, let's say there are four red products are there in stock. If I say from the quantity point of view, 4 quantities are there for this red product. If I don't plan how these red products will going to be used for my business purpose, anyone can come and anyone can consume this, can start consuming these products, right, as per their wish. Then what will happen? If any other department wants this, okay, they will not get that stock, okay, whenever they need. That means stock out situation will going to rise. Simple example I will tell you regarding to the inventory planning. I hope everyone has traveled in trains. Yes, maybe let's say you are traveling from Hyderabad to Bangalore in train. Yeah, what you will do if you are traveling, if you want to travel, you will visit the IRCTC website. Yes or no? There, let's say you want to travel from Hyderabad to Bangalore, you are seeing the seat availability in one train. Let us say it is showing 4 seats available. Assume that 4 seats are the inventory of that bogie. Okay, 4 seats are the available inventory. What will going to happen if you don't reserve that thing?
Anyone can take it.
Anyone can take it, right? And what
Yeah.
will going to happen if you, let's say, out of these 4 available seats, let's say you alone want to travel from Hyderabad to Bangalore, you reserved this seat for your purpose. That means on a particular date you had reserved. So that means on the date of travel, this seat will going to be consumed by you only. Other than you, no other person will going to be allowed. So your objective is also fulfilled, right? That means you had planned how the inventory of that IRCTC seats will going to happen. Yes or no? The same thing applies for any enterprise. The same thing applies for the goods as well. That is called as inventory planning. Is this concept clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next is, it will also control, if you see here, you can manage the inventory. Whenever I say, if I say inventory means, inventory doesn't every time means the quantity of goods. Okay, inventory every time doesn't mean the quantity of goods. One question. If I want to answer it, if I ask you what is the inventory of this red product, what will be your answer? You will say from quantity point of view. What is the quantity point of view the inventory of this red product is?
4.
It is 4. Yes or no? 4 numbers. But there is one more answer regarding to the inventory of, whenever we answer regarding to, from an inventory point of view, if I ask you what is the inventory of a product, so I can answer in 2 different aspects. One is from the quantity point of view. Along with quantity point of view, I can also answer in the form of value point of view. Let's say you bought this product, you bought this red product at a cost of, at a price of, you bought this red product at a price of 50 rupees, or I'll put it as, let's say, 5,000 rupees per each. 5,000 rupees per each. So if I ask you what is the value of this value of the red product, yeah, what will be your answer? That will be 5,000 multiplied by 4. That is 20,000.
20,000.
20,000 rupees is the inventory value of this red product. So whenever I say what is the inventory of this red product, you can answer from the quantity point of view and from the value point of view. Yeah. So that is what I had mentioned one point here. You can manage the stock of a material on quantity basis or value basis or both. Yeah. So this is a kind of high level overview. Okay. What I had given from the inventory management topic. Yeah. Now let's say you had received this product from the vendor. You had received these 3 products from the vendor. Okay. Now once you receive these 3 products, you are liable to pay to the vendor, right? Yes. So there comes the topic called as logistics invoice verification. Verifying the invoice what has been supplied by the vendor for your logistics purpose. Now, what do you mean by invoice? In a very simple language, can anyone tell me? What do you mean by invoice?
Bill against the material.
Yes. Material and service, whatever it is. Bill. Who raises the bill?
Vendor.
Vendor,
To whom?
buyer,
Very good.
organization.
Vendor raises the buyer. Vendor raises the invoice to the buyer. What is the need? Through that invoice, vendor will ask you, or it will ask the buyer to settle the dues against the procurement of goods and services. Yes. If you are going to restaurant for having a dinner as well, there also you get the invoice. Through that invoice only you will come to know how much you have to pay. Yeah. But will you going to pay blindly without cross checking the contents of invoice?
No.
No. What you will do, you will cross check it. That means you are verifying it. What is the need of verification?
So we can pay right amount for
Yes. You can pay right amount for the right quantity of the goods whatever you had received. Yes
yes,
or no?
yes.
So this invoice verification is a part of accounts payable. Yeah, accounts payable means whenever, see, there are 2 things what you will hear: accounts receivable and accounts payable. Whenever we are talking from the materials management point of view, that means from the purchasing point of view, we talk about accounts payable. Accounts payable means to whom you are going to pay. You are going to pay to the vendor. So under this accounts payable part, there is a concept called as logistics invoice verification, which this is a mechanism which deals with the verification of vendor invoice. Okay. Before clearing the payment to the vendor. Yeah. Before clearing the payment to the vendor, we need one mechanism which can verify the vendor's invoice. See, if we are going to hotel, or if you are going to, let's say, some supermarket, let's say DMart or all those things, against whatever your purchase, if the bill is getting raised, then you are going to cross check it visually, right? But from an organization point of view, the volume of the invoices whatever they are going to receive on daily basis, that will be very huge. So it is not practically possible for an accounts clerk to visually verify the correctness of any invoice. So that's why SAP given one mechanism to verify those invoices. So what is the base of what is the reference with which you are going to verify this invoice? See, here in the right side you are seeing this vendor invoice. Sorry, just a minute. In the right hand side of my screen, you are seeing one invoice raised by the vendor. Now vendor is asking through this invoice to clear the payment. First of all, you will verify. How you are going to verify if this invoice is correct or not? You are going to verify
Which
based on
reference of
the
PO, PO sir.
yes, yes. Not only PO, okay, not only PO means your not only regarding to the purchase order. Along with that, you can also use the acknowledgement document what system generated when you received the goods. Yeah, system will generate one acknowledgement document in the inventory management part whenever you are going to receive the goods. For example, you placed an order for 100 pieces of product, each piece costing you 50 rupees, and in the day when the vendor delivered you the goods, he delivered 60 pieces. So based on what you had received, system will propose only the amount whatever has been it will propose the amount against the quantity whatever has been received. Yeah. Now, if the amount proposed by the system to settle and if the amount mentioned in the vendor's invoice, if there is any kind of discrepancies, the accounts payable clerk or the buyer, okay, will get in touch with vendor and he will get the clarification, okay, why there is a mismatch in the amount mentioned in the invoice. And once the clarification and entire thing gets provided, then you will carry out the invoice verification. And then once the invoice got verified, the finance team will going to clear the payment to the vendor. Yes. So this completes your entire materials management process. Okay, right from the purchasing to the settlement of dues to the vendor. This is your materials management process, and we use one word for this entire process flow. We call it as a purchase to pay cycle. Okay, what do we call? We call it as a purchase to
P2P.
pay cycle or P2P cycle. Very good, P2P cycle. Is this clear, whatever we had discussed so far?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this was the thing what I wanted to present. Now, if any participant is having any kind of queries, you're free to ask me.
This is,
You said, oh, sorry.
Yes, please.
tell me, madam, you complete first.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you. You said services. What kind of
Mhm.
services?
Any kind of services, see, from the organization to organization, the nature of service will going to vary. Let's say if you are procuring some courier services, because
Okay.
if you are working in some company, they will hire one courier service, right, for doing some courier thing and all those things. That
Oh,
comes
no,
under one kind of general service. Yes.
not that
Similarly,
one. Like you said in purchasing. In purchasing, you said
uh-huh.
from supplier you get services. Yeah, that's what I'm
from sub
asking. Yeah, you
no
pay for
from
services or a
supplier,
good. Yeah.
see, from supplier we can purchase either goods or either services as per our need,
Oh, yeah,
right?
that's what I'm asking. What kind of services?
Service, that's what I'm saying, right? Service can be
Okay.
categorized in different ways. General services we
Okay.
call, maintenance services we call. Yeah.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Can I
Okay.
answer to that question?
Yes, please. Yes.
The services in the sense just like a Denso. It's our own product from my place, or from your home, from your off to your office. You are taking your lunchbox. Just you are buying your own services.
Yeah, yeah,
Product
yeah,
is
yeah.
yours, everything is yours.
A kind of
Only thing is
parcel
you just
service.
want just a service. It actually
Yeah.
varies from different company. So what kind of a service that you are buying? For example, packers and movers. That is just a service. From my products, I'm placed point A to point B. I'm just moving my own products. So I'm just
Yeah,
taking a
Okay.
service from a different organization. That's all.
yeah.
This is called a
See,
service.
from the organization point of view, right, they can categorize the services whatever they are procuring. Okay, they can categorize in different ways. So basically,
Okay.
such kind of services are categorized in the form of general service. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, buddy, for adding some more points. Okay, to my point. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other question?
Can you give any other example other than courier services for general services?
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So
For
if it is a
example,
manufacturing industry,
yeah,
so
I'll
what
tell
would
you.
be the
I'll tell.
services?
I'll tell you. For example, if it is a manufacturing industry, let's say you're installing, you might have installed big equipments, right? So from time to time, that equipments need maintenance. Yes. So you may involve some external vendor who is specialized in doing carrying out the maintenance of those equipments. Yes. So you are going to pay for those maintenance service. For example, not take from the bigger organization point of view, take an example of your bike. Your bike is a big machine. Yes, it requires some maintenance services. What we call it, we use one terminology. I'm giving my bike for servicing. Yeah, your bike is a big machine which requires servicing from time to time. That is what kind of servicing you are doing there? That is maintenance service.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. In our plant, generally we are called for maintenance services, sir. Like major hauling of turbines, boilers, like this.
Yeah. Everything is a maintenance service. One liner answer.
We call to the third party to service
Yeah.
for installation, commissioning, or whatever the installed equipment now for that overhauling. For that purpose, we are
Yes.
calling on time to time intervals.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Any other questions, or shall we conclude this demo?
1 minute, sir. One question is, sir, this demo is regarding SAP MM or SAP MM S4 HANA.
See, whether you are learning it is on S4 HANA or whatever it is, this is the core concept what you will find.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
My doubt is I am currently working as a maintenance engineer. Okay, sir. So,
Okay.
which
Okay.
suitable for me, sir? Actually, plant maintenance or material management?
See, it depends, right? See, if you based on this demo, yeah, if you find suitable, right? Okay, if you see whatever content I had shared with you today, yeah, if you are able to digest those things, yeah, you can go ahead, because whatever you will learn, okay, all are important for an organization. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is on your understanding how you are catching up the things. This is a concept. If you are able to stick to this concept, then the things will going to be easy for you if you are going for learning SAP materials management. Yeah.
Is it required for SAP S4 HANA? Before S4 HANA, we have to complete the SAP MM model.
No. See, SAP MM is a part of S4 HANA.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Both are not different things. See, please don't understand that both are two different things. SAP MM is a functional module which is a part of S4 HANA. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right now, currently, I'm a end user working here in the steel industry since last 10 years. Okay, sir. So I have authority uh, to some T code. I have authorization for this in regarding with plant maintenance model. I have some authorization to create the function, location, equipment, and things like this. No? Scheduling, background maintenance, everything. But I have also authorization, that is the super user. I have also authorization for creating the material also and some doing some customization setting. So I have interest in also, but right now currently my back profile is the plant maintenance. So in the future point of view, sir, which is the correct decision? That is the
See, just a minute, guys. See, from the future point of view, if you are learning, see, if you are willing to learn currently SAP MM, that is also will make a bright future for you. Yeah. If you are interested in future, let's say in learning SAP plant maintenance module along with after this SAP MM module, that is also will act as one of the added advantage for you. Yeah. So decision is up to you. Yeah. If see that all I'm saying, right, a participant has to decide that thing. See, my responsibility is to take you through the content, what it will be there. Yeah, what are the things it is, what is the concept I have to explain. Then I can guide you only, right? but you have to find out your strength. Okay, if you are able to make up the thing here or not. Yeah,
Yes.
in MM or PM. Yeah, you have to decide that thing.
Hmm.
But
Okay, sir.
from my point of view, if you are going to learn SAP MM also, there is no harm. That is that will act as a good career option for you. That's what I can say.
Okay, sure.
Hello.
Yes,
Is it
please.
possible to share curriculum on email or WhatsApp?
Sorry. Can you please repeat your
Is
question?
it possible to share curriculum on email?
Right.
The
The
curriculum of
curriculum
MM.
I will be sharing with the institute. Yeah. So you can get
Yeah.
in touch with the institute regarding to the content. Yeah. What content I'm going to cover in this course curriculum. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how the batches will be, like every day or on weekends?
So see, batch regarding to the batches currently, I can say I will be able to take during the weekends. Yeah. See, I will tell you the calculation here. If you are connecting on daily basis, that means Monday to Friday, every day will be
Okay.
1 hour session. Yeah. So you can take in a
Okay.
week 5 hours. Yeah. In a
Okay.
week, there will be 5 hours. But if you are connecting, if you are okay with weekend session, then on Saturday 2.5 hours, Sunday 2.5 hours. That means in a week, if you are connecting from Monday to Friday, that is 5 hours. If you are connecting only Saturday and Sunday, that will be 5 hours. So what is the benefit you will get during the weekend is Saturday and Sunday I'm going to share my knowledge and entire things regarding to SAP. Yeah, SAP MM. You will get
Okay.
5 days of time, right? You have 5 days of time to practice sufficiently. See
Okay.
that yes. So most of the participants are getting benefited from this approach. Yeah. So they are getting plenty of time in a week to raise their queries and all of those things. Yeah.
Yeah, but the 2 days, 2.5 hour each day.
Mhm.
So it won't be too much for the beginner. Means I will be able to catch up or grasp everything in 2 days and then practice on weekdays.
Yeah, there is no
That,
harm
and
because there are current.
fasting.
See,
Yeah.
yeah, there is no harm. See, there are currently batches ongoing during the weekend. Yeah, so they are
Okay.
very much comfortable because based on the feedback and all those things, they're very much comfortable because I'm interacting with them during the weekdays. Sorry, during the weekends, and trust me, the environment what has been created there. They are getting so much of time for the practice. They are raising so many questions during the weekdays. They are writing a mail to me, okay, and instantly doubts are getting clarified and all those things. So
Okay. So
that's my
I will
personal.
be able to talk to you during weekdays if I have any doubts.
See, if you are having any queries, that's what I'm saying. If you are having
Okay.
any queries during weekdays during your practice, you can get in touch
Okay.
with you can write a mail to me. Yeah, my email ID will be circulated among the participants. You can write an email to me,
Okay.
okay, with
Okay.
along with the screenshot of the errors whatever you are getting. So I will
Okay.
be going through those mails and I will see what issue you are facing and I will advise you how you can correct those errors. Yeah.
I'm asking because I don't have any knowledge of
Yeah, it's
business
good
or
because
anything.
see, yeah, see,
Okay.
in the current batch also everybody is new to SAP. Yeah, in
Actually,
in the online batches.
I know. Actually, I'm a housewife. I did my graduation in mathematics. Just starting.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I asked that it will be too much to grasp in 2.5 hours in one day. Okay. Okay. I get it. What you were saying.
But
Hello.
yes, Yeah, just think of that because most of the guys are getting benefited from that approach. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, what will be the total number of hours for the complete
The
module?
total number of hours would be approximately around the idle time. What I'm telling to you, that will be around 60 hours. 60.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone will take that much amount of time only.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
What is the difference between SAP MM and HANA S4?
See, HANA is one platform. Yeah. HANA is one platform on which this SAP MM is deployed. Okay. I am just now a few minutes back only I told you that there is SAP MM and S4 HANA are not two different things. SAP MM is a part of S4 HANA. Okay. What is this HANA? HANA is a database. Okay. Means SAP MM is one application what you are going to use on HANA database.
Okay,
Right?
sir. Okay, okay.
Please don't think in this way that SAP MM is different, S4 HANA is different. SAP MM is a part of S4 HANA.
Pavan, I guess he's asking ECC MM and S4 HANA MM. Okay. So it's like a combined course, right, Pavan, this one?
Is it a combined course? Okay, okay, fine.
I guess your question is the same, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's a combined course.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
ECC
if it,
yeah, from basics to S4 HANA, it will be. Yeah.
yeah, so if it is SAP MM on ECC and SAP MM on S4 HANA, if this is a question, then the content wise, whatever I had just now explained you the concept, that will remain intact. Yes. But here it is the thing is you will be, if you are working on ECC, the database will be completely different. On S4 HANA, the database will be something new. That here you will be using HANA database. There are a lot more technical things, yeah, which I am going to cover slowly. Yeah.
And one more thing,
Yeah.
are you going to give any training material like books and all?
I will check once. Okay.
Yes, Pavan. We're gonna share the certification materials on the dumps also. Okay.
Okay, and those will be soft copies or hard copy?
It will be a soft copy.
Okay, soft copies. Okay. 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 Thank you.
Yes. Right. So I hope I had answered everyone's questions, yeah, to an extent. Yeah. So Naveen, I guess this is the thing what I wanted to present today. Yeah.
Oh,
So
perfect.
so
Yeah, Pavan, go.
yeah. So you can take it ahead. I think I had answered all the
If
queries,
anyone is
and if
having
there
any
are any,
technical issues, you can ask Pavan, or else I'll communicate offline to everyone about the schedule. Okay.
yeah, you can, yes, you can communicate that thing, right? And yeah. So if any participant is having any kind of questions after this demo also coming, you can you can post your queries. Okay. So maybe we can, I will try to answer those queries afterwards. Right. Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.